Hi guys, good morning to one and all. This is G Pencila. I am studying third BTech in Shankara Institution of Technology. Today, my tech talk presentation in this subject is flat. Flat is nothing but formal language automata theory. Concept is what is the difference between deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata, and what is Moore emission and what is mole emission. First of all, discuss now about what is deterministic and non-deterministic finite automata. What are the difference of deterministic and non-deterministic finite automata? First of all, DFA. DFA stands for deterministic finite automata. The transition from a state is to a single particular next state for each input symbol. Hence, it is called a deterministic finite automata. Deterministic finite automata means only single transition is there, that input state is called a deterministic finite automata. Non-deterministic finite automata means the transition for a state can be to multiple states is called a non-deterministic finite automata. Empty string transition are not seen in deterministic finite automata. In non-deterministic finite automata, the empty string transition is there. And DFA, deterministic finite automata, is a subset of non-deterministic finite automata, and converting is possible NFA to DFA. These the concept the consisting of the five tuples. Those are Q, epsilon, and sigma and q naught f. First of all, q is nothing but finite state of states, and sigma is nothing but input alphabet or variables, and delta is transition function. Q naught is equal to initial state, f is equal to finite set of final states. Here also it consisting of non-deterministic finite automata is also five tuples. Those are q and infinity, q, sigma, and delta, q naught, f. Q is nothing but finite set of states, and and sigma is input alphabet, and delta is transition function. Q naught is equal to initial state, f is equal to finite set of final states. Here difference is transition function only, and delta is equal to state into input alphabet gives to next state is called a transition function for deterministic finite automata. A non-deterministic finite automata transition function is delta is equal to q into epsilon used as to power set of q is called a non-deterministic finite automata. Only one way of representation of the DFA and multi-way representation of NFA. Backtracking is allowed in non-deterministic finite automata. In backtracking is not allowed. In deterministic finite automata, backtracking is allowed. And the construction of DFA is very difficult comparing of NFA, and NFA construction is very easy comparing to the deterministic finite automata. And dead state may require in deterministic finite automata. In dead state is not required in non-deterministic finite automata. Next, difference between mealy to Moore emission. In mealy to Moore emission, mealy is nothing but output depending on present state and present input is called mealy emission, and Moore emission means output depending on only present state only is called a Moore emission. And mealy emission react faster to input, and Moore emission is react to slower input. And here placed an output on the transition. Here also output placed on the transition. There is a more hardware required for circuit implementation, and it is a synchronization output generation of a Moore emission. It consisting of 6 tuples in mealy emission. Those are q and q naught and sigma and transition function delta and small delta and lambda. Q is equal to finite set of state, q naught is equal to input alphabet, delta is equal to output alphabet, and small delta is equal to transition function. Here also Moore emission it consisting of 6 tuples. Those are q and small q naught and sigma and delta and small delta and lambda. And first of all, q is finite set of final state, q naught is initial state, and sigma is equal to input alphabet, and delta is equal to output alphabet, k, and small delta is equal to transition function. Here the examples of a mealy emission. Here q naught it moves to q1. It inputs alphabet is 1 comma 0. See this diagram, we can easily understanding of mealy emission also. Next, more emission. More emission example Q naught of 0, it moves to Q1 of B. See this diagram, we can easily understanding of more emission, mealy emission. It is the brief explanation about the NFA and DFA and mealy emission, more emission. Thank you friends, I am giving opportunity. Thank you.